CLEP English Literature Virginia Woolf. Question 1. Preparing a CLEP-style clue among these works, which one is by Kazuo Ishiguro? Option A. My Last Duchess. Option B. Dr. Faustus. Option C. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Option D. The Remains of the Day. The correct answer is option D. The Remains of the Day. The Remains of the Day fits because it is Kazuo Ishiguro's work, a late 20th century novel about memory, restraint, class, and missed emotional truth. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is associated with Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Dr. Faustus is associated with Christopher Marlowe. My Last Duchess belongs with Robert Browning, not this author clue. Question 2. How should a CLEP author clue for Beowulf be answered? Option A. Robert Browning. Option B. Anonymous Old English poet. Option C. Jonathan Swift. Option D. Virginia Woolf. The correct answer is option B. Anonymous Old English poet. Anonymous Old English poet fits because Beowulf is an Anglo-Saxon heroic epic built around monsters, loyalty, fame, and alliterated verse. Jonathan Swift is linked to Gulliver's Travels. Robert Browning is linked to My Last Duchess. Virginia Woolf points instead to Mrs. Dalloway, so it does not match this clue. Question 3. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, can Troilus and Cressida help identify which author? Option A. Geoffrey Chaucer. Option B. George Herbert. Option C. John Milton. Option D. Christopher Marlowe. The correct answer is option A. Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer fits because Troilus and Cressida is a Middle English narrative poem focused on love, fortune, and betrayal. Christopher Marlowe is linked to Dr. Faustus. George Herbert is linked to The Temple. John Milton points instead to Paradise Lost, so it does not match this clue. Question 4. Recognizing Samuel Johnson should lead to which title? Option A. Ulysses. Option B. Preface to Shakespeare. Option C. The Rape of the Lock. Option D. Orinoco. The correct answer is option B. Preface to Shakespeare. Preface to Shakespeare fits because it is Samuel Johnson's work, an important neoclassical critical essay defending Shakespeare while noting faults. Orinoco is associated with Aphra Behn. Ulysses is associated with James Joyce. The Rape of the Lock belongs with Alexander Pope, not this author clue. Question 5. Considering a CLEP-style clue, how is a formal lyric poem of praise, meditation, or address usually labeled? Option A. Heroic couplet. Option B. Ode. Option C. Dramatic monologue. Option D. Caesura. The correct answer is option B. Ode. Ode fits because it means a formal lyric poem of praise, meditation, or address. Heroic couplet and caesura refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Dramatic monologue is also different. Epic is long and narrative. Satire attacks folly. Ballad tells a story in song-like stanzas. Question 6. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, how should a CLEP author clue for sons and lovers be answered? Option A. Ben Jonson. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. D.H. Lawrence. Option D. Henry Fielding. The correct answer is option C. D.H. Lawrence. D.H. Lawrence fits because Sons and Lovers is a modern novel of psychological realism, family bonds, sexuality, and class tension. Ben Jonson is linked to Volpone. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Henry Fielding points instead to Tom Jones, so it does not match this clue. Question 7. Recognizing a speech in drama where a character speaks thoughts aloud, often alone points to which term? Option A. Soliloquy. Option B. Personification. Option C. Octave. Option D. Allegory. The correct answer is option A. Soliloquy. Soliloquy fits because it means a speech in drama where a character speaks thoughts aloud, often alone. Octave and allegory refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Personification is also different. Dialogue involves exchange, aside is brief and directed to the audience, dramatic monologue is usually a poem. Question 8. Comparing a CLEP-style clue on a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with Wuthering Heights? Option A. Emily Bronte. Option B. Salman Rushdie. Option C. Geoffrey Chaucer. Option D. Charles Dickens. The correct answer is option A. Emily Bronte. Emily Bronte fits because Wuthering Heights is a Gothic Victorian novel of passion, revenge, setting, and layered narration. Charles Dickens is linked to Great Expectations. Salman Rushdie is linked to Midnight's Children. Geoffrey Chaucer points instead to the Canterbury Tales, so it does not match this clue. Question 9. Tracing a CLEP-style clue, identify the writer normally connected with Dover Beach? Option A. Matthew Arnold. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. Geoffrey Chaucer. Option D, William Wordsworth. The correct answer is option A, Matthew Arnold. Matthew Arnold fits because Dover Beach is a Victorian lyric often linked with religious doubt, melancholy and cultural uncertainty. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet, William Wordsworth is linked to lyrical ballads. Geoffrey Chaucer points instead to the Canterbury Tales, so it does not match this clue. Question 10. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue among these works, which one is by Jane Austen? Option A, Mrs. Dalloway. Option B, Ulysses. Option C, Pride and Prejudice. Option D, Troilus and Cresside. The correct answer is option C, Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice fits because it is Jane Austen's work, a novel of manners centered on courtship, class, irony, and moral judgment. Mrs. Dalloway is associated with Virginia Woolf, Troilus and Cresside is associated with Geoffrey Chaucer. Ulysses belongs with James Joyce, not this author clue. Question 11. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, identify the device described as a long elevated narrative poem about heroic or cosmic events. Option A, epic. Option B, simile. Option C, Bildungsroman. Option D, caesura. The correct answer is option A, epic. Epic fits because it means a long elevated narrative poem about heroic or cosmic events. Simile and caesura refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Bildungsroman is also different. Lyric poetry focuses on personal feeling, comedy resolves conflict happily, essay presents prose argument. Question 12. Studying a CLEP-style clue, when Matthew Arnold appears in review, which title fits? Option A, Middlemarch. Option B, Dover Beach. Option C, Midnight's Children. Option D, My Last Duchess. The correct answer is option B, Dover Beach. Dover Beach fits because it is Matthew Arnold's work, a Victorian lyric often linked with religious doubt, melancholy and cultural uncertainty. Middlemarch is associated with George Eliot, Midnight's Children is associated with Salman Rushdie. My Last Duchess belongs with Robert Browning, not this author clue. Question 13. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, can you identify the technique when third-person narration slips into a character's private language and thoughts? Option A, frame narrative. Option B, free indirect discourse. Option C, soliloquy. Option D, mock epic. The correct answer is option B, free indirect discourse. Free indirect discourse fits because free indirect discourse blends third-person narration with a character's inner voice, a technique important in Austen and later fiction. Soliloquy is wrong because soliloquy is a dramatic speech. Frame narrative and mock epic describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 14. Select a term for two consecutive lines of verse, usually linked by rhyme or thought. Option A, sestet. Option B, Gothic. Option C, stream of consciousness. Option D, couplet. The correct answer is option D, couplet. Couplet fits because it means two consecutive lines of verse, usually linked by rhyme or thought. Stream of consciousness and sestet refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Gothic is also different, octave is 8 lines, sestet is 6 lines, stanza is a larger grouped unit. Question 15. Considering a CLEP-style clue, how would a clue about Edmund Spenser most likely be answered? Option A, Volpone. Option B, Sons and Lovers. Option C, Paradise Lost. Option D, The Fairy Queen. The correct answer is option D, The Fairy Queen. The Fairy Queen fits because it is Edmund Spenser's work, an allegorical Renaissance epic romance written in the Spenserian stanza. Paradise Lost is associated with John Milton, Volpone is associated with Ben Jonson. Sons and Lovers belongs with D. H. Lawrence, not this author clue. Question 16. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, if a poem uses the ordered pattern of end rhymes in a poem, which device is present? Option A, rhyme scheme. Option B, terza rima. Option C, motif. Option D, epic. The correct answer is option A, rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme fits because it means the ordered pattern of end rhymes in a poem. Terza rima and epic refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Motif is also different, meter is rhythm, diction is word choice, imagery is sensory language. Question 17. Testing a CLEP-style clue, identify the writer normally connected with Mrs. Dalloway. Option A, Virginia Woolf. Option B, William Shakespeare. Option C, Mary Shelley. Option D, Matthew Arnold. The correct answer is option A, Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf fits because Mrs. Dalloway is a modernist novel using stream of consciousness, memory, and a single-day structure. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet, Matthew Arnold is linked to Dover Beach. Mary Shelley points instead to Frankenstein, so it does not match this clue. Question 18. How should a CLEP author clue for Tom Jones be answered? Option A. Henry Fielding. Option B. Doris Lessing. Option C. Oscar Wilde. Option D. George Orwell. The correct answer is option A. Henry Fielding. Henry Fielding fits because Tom Jones is a comic realist novel known for an intrusive narrator and carefully plotted action. George Orwell is linked to 1984, Oscar Wilde is linked to the importance of being earnest. Doris Lessing points instead to the Golden Notebook, so it does not match this clue. Question 19. Tracing a CLEP-style clue during character review, which work belongs with Clarissa Dalloway? Option A. Tristram Shandy. Option B. Gulliver's Travels. Option C. A Midsummer Night's Dream. Option D. Mrs. Dalloway. The correct answer is option D. Mrs. Dalloway. Clarissa Dalloway anchors Woolf's modernist single-day novel of memory and consciousness. Elizabeth Bennet is in Austen, Tess is in Hardy, Belinda is in Pulp. Question 20. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, which work includes Satan as a grand but fallen speaker? Option A. Paradise Lost. Option B. Frankenstein. Option C. A Midsummer Night's Dream. Option D. Sons and Lovers. The correct answer is option A. Paradise Lost. Milton's Satan is a central figure in the epic about rebellion and the fall. Christian belongs to the Pilgrim's Progress, Belinda belongs to the Rape of the Lock, Heathcliff belongs to Wuthering Heights. Question 21. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, can Pip and Miss Havisham help identify which work? Option A. The Fairy Queen. Option B. Macbeth. Option C. Great Expectations. Option D. Heart of Darkness. The correct answer is option C. Great Expectations. Pip and Miss Havisham belong to Dickens's Victorian novel about class, guilt, and moral growth. Tess belongs to Hardy, Stephen Dedalus belongs to Joyce, Okonkwo belongs to Achebe. Question 22. Studying a CLEP-style clue, how should a CLEP author clue for A Midsummer Night's Dream be answered? Option A. Charles Dickens. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. George Orwell. Option D. Anonymous Old English poet. The correct answer is option B. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare fits because A Midsummer Night's Dream is a comedy that mixes lovers, fairies, mistaken identities, and theatrical play. Anonymous Old English poet is linked to Beowulf. Charles Dickens is linked to Great Expectations. George Orwell points instead to 1984, so it does not match this clue. Question 23. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, can Dr. Faustus help identify which author? Option A. Jane Austen. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. William Blake. Option D. Christopher Marlowe. The correct answer is option D. Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe fits because Dr. Faustus is a Renaissance tragedy about ambition, forbidden knowledge, and a bargain with the devil. William Blake is linked to Songs of Innocence and Experience. Jane Austen is linked to Pride and Prejudice. William Shakespeare points instead to Hamlet, so it does not match this clue. Question 24. On a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with The Rape of the Lock? Option A. Robert Browning. Option B. George Eliot. Option C. Alexander Pope. Option D. W. B. Yeats. The correct answer is option C. Alexander Pope. Alexander Pope fits because The Rape of the Lock is a mock-heroic poem using heroic couplets to satirize social vanity. Robert Browning is linked to My Last Duchess. W. B. Yeats is linked to The Second Coming. George Eliot points instead to Middlemarch, so it does not match this clue. Question 25. Considering a CLEP-style clue, how would a clue about Aphra Behn most likely be answered? Option A. Orinoco. Option B. 1984. Option C. Lyrical Ballads. Option D. Dr. Faustus. The correct answer is option A. Orinoco. Orinoco fits because it is Aphra Behn's work, an early prose narrative associated with colonialism, slavery, and heroic romance. 1984 is associated with George Orwell. Lyrical Ballads is associated with William Wordsworth. Dr. Faustus belongs with Christopher Marlowe, not this author clue. Question 26. If a poem uses the repetition of initial consonant sounds in nearby words, which device is present? Option A. Spenserian stanza. Option B. Unreliable narrator. Option C. Alliteration. Option D. Blank verse. The correct answer is option C. Alliteration. Alliteration fits because it means the repetition of initial consonant sounds in nearby words. Unreliable narrator and blank verse refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Spenserian stanza is also different, assonance repeats vowel sounds, metaphor makes an implied comparison, satire mocks vice or folly. Question 27. Study cards should connect Virginia Woolf with which work? Option A, Mrs. Dalloway. Option B, Tom Jones. Option C, North. Option D, The Temple. The correct answer is option A, Mrs. Dalloway. Mrs. Dalloway fits because it is Virginia Woolf's work, a modernist novel using stream of consciousness, memory, and a single-day structure. North is associated with Seamus Heaney, The Temple is associated with George Herbert. Tom Jones belongs with Henry Fielding, not this author clue. Question 28. On a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with Omeros? Option A, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Option B, Charles Dickens. Option C, Andrew Marvell. Option D, Derek Walcott. The correct answer is option D, Derek Walcott. Derek Walcott fits because Omeros is a Caribbean epic that reworks classical forms through post-colonial history and island experience. Samuel Taylor Coleridge is linked to the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, Andrew Marvell is linked to his coy mistress. Charles Dickens points instead to Great Expectations, so it does not match this clue. Question 29. Tracing a CLEP-style clue, can Christian help identify which work? Option A, The Pilgrim's Progress. Option B, Jane Eyre. Option C, King Lear. Option D, Tom Jones. The correct answer is option A, The Pilgrim's Progress. Christian is the allegorical pilgrim whose journey represents spiritual life. Gulliver is Swift's traveler, Hamlet is Shakespeare's prince, Prufrock is Eliot's anxious speaker. Question 30. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue among these works, which one is by Alexander Pope? Option A, Don Juan. Option B, Tom Jones. Option C, The Rape of the Lock. Option D, A Midsummer Night's Dream. The correct answer is option C, The Rape of the Lock. The Rape of the Lock fits because it is Alexander Pope's work, a mock-heroic poem using heroic couplets to satirize social vanity. Tom Jones is associated with Henry Fielding, Don Juan is associated with Lord Byron. A Midsummer Night's Dream belongs with William Shakespeare, not this author clue. Question 31. Choose the work most closely linked with Charlotte Brontë. Option A, Jane Eyre. Option B, The Pilgrim's Progress. Option C, Great Expectations. Option D, Sons and Lovers. The correct answer is option A, Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre fits because it is Charlotte Bronte's work, a Victorian Bildungsroman with Gothic elements, moral independence, and first-person narration. Great Expectations is associated with Charles Dickens, The Pilgrim's Progress is associated with John Bunyan. Sons and Lovers belongs with D. H. Lawrence, not this author clue. Question 32. Studying a CLEP-style clue if narration follows a character's flowing perceptions, memories, and associations, which concept is being tested? Option A, Comedy of Manners. Option B, Stream of Consciousness. Option C, Heroic Couplet. Option D, Allegory. The correct answer is option B, Stream of Consciousness. Stream of consciousness fits because stream of consciousness tries to imitate mental flow and is central to many modernist novels. Heroic couplet is wrong because heroic couplet is a verse form. Allegory and comedy of manners describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 33. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, identify the writer normally connected with lyrical ballads. Option A, Lawrence Sterne. Option B, John Keats. Option C, William Wordsworth. Option D, Samuel Johnson. The correct answer is option C, William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth fits because Lyrical Ballads is a landmark romantic collection favoring ordinary language, nature, feeling, and imagination. Samuel Johnson is linked to preface to Shakespeare, Lawrence Sterne is linked to Tristram Shandy. John Keats points instead to Ode on a Grecian Urn, so it does not match this clue. Question 34. Examining a CLEP-style clue, how would a clue about Oscar Wilde most likely be answered? Option A, Frankenstein. Option B, The Second Coming. Option C, Sonnets from the Portuguese. Option D, The Importance of Being Earnest. The correct answer is option D, The Importance of Being Earnest. The Importance of Being Earnest fits because it is Oscar Wilde's work, a late Victorian comedy of manners built on wit, double identities, and social satire. Sonnets from the Portuguese is associated with Elizabeth Barrett Browning, The Second Coming is associated with W. B. Yeats. Frankenstein belongs with Mary Shelley, not this author clue. Question 35. If a poem uses hints that prepare readers for later events, which device is present? Option A, motif. Option B, foreshadowing. Option C, comedy of manners. Option D, Bildungsroman. The correct answer is option B, foreshadowing. Foreshadowing fits because it means hints that prepare readers for later events. Comedy of manners and motif refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Bildungsroman is also different, flashback moves into the past, symbolism gives objects larger meaning, irony depends on contrast. Question 36. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue. If a clue names the second coming, which author is expected? Option A. Daniel Defoe. Option B. W.B. Yeats. Option C. George Herbert. Option D. William Wordsworth. The correct answer is option B. W.B. Yeats. W.B. Yeats fits because The Second Coming is a modernist symbolic poem known for apocalyptic imagery and historical disorder. William Wordsworth is linked to lyrical ballads, Daniel Defoe is linked to Robinson Crusoe. George Herbert points instead to the temple, so it does not match this clue. Question 37. Testing a CLEP-style clue. Which work is tied to T.S. Eliot? Option A. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option B. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Option C. Ulysses. Option D. In Memoriam AHH. The correct answer is option B. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock fits because it is T.S. Eliot's work, a modernist dramatic monologue about paralysis, self-consciousness, and urban alienation. Ulysses is associated with James Joyce, In Memoriam AHH is associated with Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Tess of the D'Urbervilles belongs with Thomas Hardy, not this author clue. Question 38. Comparing a CLEP-style clue. Who wrote Frankenstein? Option A. Mary Shelley. Option B. William Blake. Option C. George Herbert. Option D. Charlotte Bronte. The correct answer is option A. Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley fits because Frankenstein is a Gothic and romantic novel about creation, responsibility, isolation, and ambition. George Herbert is linked to the temple, William Blake is linked to songs of innocence and experience. Charlotte Bronte points instead to Jane Eyre, so it does not match this clue. Question 39. During author review, which writer belongs with sonnets from the Portuguese? Option A. William Shakespeare. Option B. Charles Dickens. Option C. Daniel Defoe. Option D. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. The correct answer is option D. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Elizabeth Barrett Browning fits because Sonnets from the Portuguese is a Victorian sonnet sequence exploring love, voice, and devotion. Daniel Defoe is linked to Robinson Crusoe. Charles Dickens is linked to Great Expectations. William Shakespeare points instead to Hamlet, so it does not match this clue. Question 40. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue. Can Iago help identify which work? Option A. Othello. Option B. The Rape of the Lock. Option C. Dover Beach. Option D. Beowulf. The correct answer is option A. Othello. Iago is the manipulator whose deception drives Othello's jealousy. Satan belongs to Paradise Lost. Prospero belongs to The Tempest. Pip belongs to Great Expectations. Question 41. Preparing a CLEP-style clue. Recall which author is known for Macbeth? Option A. Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. Thomas Hardy. Option D. Virginia Woolf. The correct answer is option B. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare fits because Macbeth is a tragedy of ambition, prophecy, regicide, guilt, and disorder. Alfred, Lord Tennyson is linked to In Memoriam AHH, Thomas Hardy is linked to Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Virginia Woolf points instead to Mrs. Dalloway, so it does not match this clue. Question 42. Studying a CLEP-style clue. How should a reader label a passage where an image or idea keeps recurring and builds meaning across a work? Option A. Motif. Option B. Theme. Option C. Meter. Option D. Diction. The correct answer is option A. Motif. Motif fits because motif is a recurring element that supports themes and patterns in a text. Theme is wrong because theme is the broader insight or central idea. Meter and diction describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 43. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue. If a clue names Vladimir and Estragon, which title is expected? Option A. Ulysses. Option B. Preface to Shakespeare. Option C. Gulliver's Travels. Option D. Waiting for Godot. The correct answer is option D. Waiting for Godot. Vladimir and Estragon wait through Beckett's absurdist drama. Hamlet and Horatio belong to Shakespeare. Jane and Rochester belong to Bronte. Gulliver and the Houyhnhnms belong to Swift. Question 44. Examining a CLEP-style clue. Recognizing Hamlet points to which work? Option A. Tristram Shandy. Option B. Sons and Lovers. Option C. Hamlet. Option D. Orinoco. The correct answer is option C. Hamlet. Hamlet is Shakespeare's Prince of Denmark in the revenge tragedy. Othello centers on jealousy, Volpone is Jonson's satire, Paradise Lost is Milton's epic. Question 45. Considering a CLEP-style clue, if you see Geoffrey Chaucer, which title should you remember? Option A. Beowulf. Option B. Ulysses. Option C. Ellie Mort d'Arthur. Option D. Troilus and Cresside. The correct answer is option D. Troilus and Cresside. Troilus and Cresside fits because it is Geoffrey Chaucer's work, a Middle English narrative poem focused on love, fortune, and betrayal. Beowulf is associated with anonymous Old English poet. Ellie Mort d'Arthur is associated with Sir Thomas Malory. Ulysses belongs with James Joyce, not this author clue. Question 46. Study cards should connect Percy Bysshe Shelley with which work? Option A. Orinoco. Option B. Tom Jones. Option C. Ode to the West Wind. Option D. My Last Duchess. The correct answer is option C. Ode to the West Wind. Ode to the West Wind fits because it is Percy Bysshe Shelley's work, a romantic ode that treats nature as destructive, creative, and revolutionary power. Tom Jones is associated with Henry Fielding. My Last Duchess is associated with Robert Browning. Orinoco belongs with Aphra Behn, not this author clue. Question 47. Testing a CLEP-style clue, which work includes Belinda and the Stolen Lock of Hair? Option A. Beowulf. Option B. Great Expectations. Option C. The Rape of the Lock. Option D. Troilus and Cresside. The correct answer is option C. The Rape of the Lock. Belinda is the fashionable figure at the center of Pope's mock heroic satire. Tess belongs to Hardy, Jane Eyre belongs to Bronte, Grendel belongs to Beowulf. Question 48. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, can a CLEP item about T.S. Eliot point to which work? Option A. Lyrical Ballads. Option B. The Wasteland. Option C. Volpone. Option D. Dr. Faustus. The correct answer is option B. The Wasteland. The Wasteland fits because it is T.S. Eliot's work, a modernist poem marked by fragmentation, illusion, spiritual dryness, and cultural crisis. Dr. Faustus is associated with Christopher Marlowe. Volpone is associated with Ben Jonson. Lyrical Ballads belongs with William Wordsworth, not this author clue. Question 49. Tracing a CLEP-style clue among these periods, which one matches industrial society, social reform, realism, class mobility, faith and doubt, and long novels? Option A. Romantic. Option B. Anglo-Saxon/Old English. Option C. Renaissance. Option D. Victorian. The correct answer is option D. Victorian. Victorian fits because it is commonly linked with industrial society, social reform, realism, class mobility, faith and doubt, and long novels. Romantic is different because romantic literature places greater emphasis on imagination, nature, and individual feeling. Anglo-Saxon/Old English and Renaissance point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 50. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, how should a reader label a passage where a story is told by a voice whose judgments seem limited, biased, or misleading? Option A. Objective correlative. Option B. Authorial biography. Option C. Omniscient narrator. Option D. Unreliable narrator. The correct answer is option D. Unreliable narrator. Unreliable narrator fits because an unreliable narrator gives readers reason to question the accuracy or fairness of the account. Omniscient narrator is wrong because omniscient narration is broadly all-knowing. Authorial biography and objective correlative describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 51. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, when a passage shows third-person narration that slips into a character's thoughts or idiom, which term fits? Option A. Stream of consciousness. Option B. Free indirect discourse. Option C. Conceit. Option D. Metaphor. The correct answer is option B. Free indirect discourse. Free indirect discourse fits because it means third-person narration that slips into a character's thoughts or idiom. Metaphor and conceit refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Stream of consciousness is also different. First person uses I. Omniscient narration is broadly all-knowing. Dramatic irony depends on audience knowledge. Question 52. Studying a CLEP-style clue, during work matching, which title belongs to William Shakespeare? Option A. The Wasteland. Option B. The Tempest. Option C. The Importance of Being Earnest. Option D. 1984. The correct answer is option B. The Tempest. The Tempest fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a late romance involving Prospero, magic, forgiveness, and colonial questions. The Importance of Being Earnest is associated with Oscar Wilde. 1984 is associated with George Orwell. The Wasteland belongs with T.S. Eliot, not this author. Clue. Question 53. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue. Recognizing William Shakespeare should lead to which title? Option A. Pride and Prejudice. Option B. Sonnets from the Portuguese. Option C. Heart of Darkness. Option D. Hamlet. The correct answer is option D. Hamlet. Hamlet fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a revenge tragedy centered on delay, conscience, performance, and corruption. Heart of Darkness is associated with Joseph Conrad. Pride and Prejudice is associated with Jane Austen. Sonnets from the Portuguese belongs with Elizabeth Barrett Browning, not this author. Clue. Question 54. Examining a CLEP-style clue. If a passage context shows intellectual conceits, paradox, argumentative speakers, and spiritual or erotic wit, which period is likely? Option A. Old English poetry. Option B. Victorian realism. Option C. Romantic poetry. Option D. Metaphysical poetry. The correct answer is option D. Metaphysical poetry. Metaphysical poetry fits because it is commonly linked with intellectual conceits, paradox, argumentative speakers, and spiritual or erotic wit. Romantic poetry is different because romantic poetry favors imagination, nature, and emotional intensity. Victorian realism and Old English poetry point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 55. Considering a CLEP-style clue, which work includes Lady Macbeth? Option A. Things Fall Apart. Option B. Volpone. Option C. North. Option D. Macbeth. The correct answer is option D. Macbeth. Lady Macbeth belongs to the tragedy of ambition and guilt surrounding Duncan's murder. Hamlet focuses on a Danish prince. The Rape of the Lock satirizes social vanity. Middlemarch is a realist Victorian novel. Question 56. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue. If a clue names ode on a Grecian urn, which author is expected? Option A. Aphra Behn. Option B. John Donne. Option C. William Shakespeare. Option D. John Keats. The correct answer is option D. John Keats. John Keats fits because Ode on a Grecian Urn is a romantic ode meditating on art, beauty, permanence, and human transience. John Donne is linked to holy sonnets. Aphra Behn is linked to Orinoco. William Shakespeare points instead to Hamlet, so it does not match this clue. Question 57. Testing a CLEP-style clue. Among these titles, which one contains Tester Bayfield? Option A. Macbeth. Option B. Hamlet. Option C. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option D. Wuthering Heights. The correct answer is option C. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Tess is the tragic heroine in Hardy's late Victorian novel. Jane Eyre belongs to Charlotte Bronte, Molly Bloom belongs to Joyce, Christian belongs to Bunyan. Question 58. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, can you name the literary term for a situation in which the audience knows more than a character does? Option A. Mock epic. Option B. Dramatic irony. Option C. Personification. Option D. Alliteration. The correct answer is option B. Dramatic irony. Dramatic irony fits because it means a situation in which the audience knows more than a character does. Mock epic and personification refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Alliteration is also different. Verbal irony says one thing and means another. Soliloquy is a stage speech. Parody imitates style for comic effect. Question 59. Tracing a CLEP-style clue. Among these terms, which one names the repetition of vowel sounds without repeating the same consonants? Option A. Dramatic irony. Option B. Stream of consciousness. Option C. Sestet. Option D. Assonance. The correct answer is option D. Assonance. Assonance fits because it means the repetition of vowel sounds without repeating the same consonants. Sestet and stream of consciousness refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Dramatic irony is also different. Alliteration repeats initial consonants. Consonance repeats consonant sounds. Irony depends on contrast. Question 60. Identify the device described as interlocking three-line rhyme often associated with Dante and later English adaptations. Option A. Frame narrative. Option B. Conceit. Option C. Alliteration. Option D. Terza rima. The correct answer is option D. Terza rima. Terza rima fits because it means interlocking three-line rhyme often associated with Dante and later English adaptations. Frame narrative and conceit refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Alliteration is also different, heroic couplet rhymes in pairs, sonnet has 14 lines, ballad stanza is narrative and song-like. Question 61. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, when a passage shows a poem of mourning, often reflecting on death and loss, which term fits? Option A, metaphor. Option B, elegy. Option C, symbolism. Option D, metonymy. The correct answer is option B, elegy. Elegy fits because it means a poem of mourning, often reflecting on death and loss. Metaphor and symbolism refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Metonymy is also different, ode praises or meditates formally, satire mocks folly, ballad tells a song-like story. Question 62. Studying a CLEP-style clue, during passage analysis, which term matches the clue that the audience understands danger or truth that a character does not yet see? Option A, foreshadowing. Option B, verbal irony. Option C, dramatic irony. Option D, situational irony. The correct answer is option C, dramatic irony. Dramatic irony fits because dramatic irony depends on a gap between audience knowledge and character knowledge. Verbal irony is wrong because verbal irony says one thing while meaning another. Situational irony and foreshadowing describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 63. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, select a term for giving human qualities to an animal, object, or abstract idea. Option A, conceit. Option B, metonymy. Option C, Gothic. Option D, personification. The correct answer is option D, personification. Personification fits because it means giving human qualities to an animal, object, or abstract idea. Metonymy and conceit refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Gothic is also different, metaphor compares unlike things, irony contrasts meaning and appearance, caesura marks a pause. Question 64. Examining a CLEP-style clue, how is a larger story that contains one or more smaller stories usually labeled? Option A, frame narrative. Option B, octave. Option C, terza rima. Option D, metonymy. The correct answer is option A, frame narrative. Frame narrative fits because it means a larger story that contains one or more smaller stories. Metonymy and octave refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Terza rima is also different, Bildungsroman follows growth to maturity, allegory uses sustained symbols, pastoral idealizes rural settings. Question 65. Considering a CLEP-style clue, if you see Robert Browning, which title should you remember? Option A, Tom Jones. Option B, The Second Coming. Option C, Holy Sonnets. Option D, My Last Duchess. The correct answer is option D, My Last Duchess. My Last Duchess fits because it is Robert Browning's work, a dramatic monologue revealing character through a speaker's controlled self-exposure. Tom Jones is associated with Henry Fielding, Holy Sonnets is associated with John Donne. The Second Coming belongs with W. B. Yeats, not this author clue. Question 66. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, which author is most closely associated with Gulliver's Travels? Option A, William Shakespeare. Option B, Jonathan Swift. Option C, Aphra Behn. Option D, W. B. Yeats. The correct answer is option B, Jonathan Swift. Jonathan Swift fits because Gulliver's Travels is a prose satire that attacks politics, science, pride, and human folly. W. B. Yeats is linked to The Second Coming, William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Aphra Behn points instead to Orinoco, so it does not match this clue. Question 67. Testing a CLEP-style clue, can a CLEP item about Alfred, Lord Tennyson point to which work? Option A, The Canterbury Tales. Option B, In Memoriam AHH. Option C, Jane Eyre. Option D, Sonnets. The correct answer is option B, In Memoriam AHH. In Memoriam AHH fits because it is Alfred, Lord Tennyson's work, a Victorian elegy that wrestles with grief, faith, science, and doubt. Sonnets is associated with William Shakespeare, Jane Eyre is associated with Charlotte Bronte. The Canterbury Tales belongs with Geoffrey Chaucer, not this author clue. Question 68. Comparing a CLEP-style clue among these periods, which one matches empire, decolonization, language, cultural identity, displacement, and historical memory? Option A, post-colonial/Commonwealth. Option B, Restoration. Option C, metaphysical poetry. Option D, Anglo-Saxon/Old English. The correct answer is option A, post-colonial/Commonwealth. Post-colonial/Commonwealth fits because it is commonly linked with empire, decolonization, language, cultural identity, displacement, and historical memory. Restoration is different because Restoration literature is linked with wit, theatre and comedy of manners. Metaphysical poetry and Anglo-Saxon/Old English point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 69. Tracing a CLEP-style clue, identify the device described as a 9-line stanza with 8 lines of iambic pentameter and a final Alexandrine. Option A, metaphor. Option B, allegory. Option C, stream of consciousness. Option D, Spenserian stanza. The correct answer is option D, Spenserian stanza. Spenserian stanza fits because it means a 9-line stanza with 8 lines of iambic pentameter and a final Alexandrine. Allegory and metaphor refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Stream of consciousness is also different. Heroic couplet has 2 rhymed lines. Blank verse is unrhymed iambic pentameter. Ottava rima has 8 lines. Question 70. When a passage shows unrhymed iambic pentameter, which term fits? Option A, blank verse. Option B, personification. Option C, allusion. Option D, free indirect discourse. The correct answer is option A, blank verse. Blank verse fits because it means unrhymed iambic pentameter. Allusion and personification refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Free indirect discourse is also different. Free verse has no regular meter. Heroic couplets rhyme in pairs. Ballads usually use narrative stanzas. Question 71. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, recognizing Dorothea Brooke points to which work? Option A, Tom Jones. Option B, Omrose. Option C, Middlemarch. Option D, lyrical ballads. The correct answer is option C, Middlemarch. Dorothea Brooke is a central figure in George Eliot's realist Victorian novel. Elizabeth Bennet is Austen's heroine, Clarissa Dalloway is Woolf's character, Satan is Milton's epic rebel. Question 72. Recognizing John Bunyan should lead to which title? Option A, Hamlet. Option B, The Importance of Being Earnest. Option C, Midnight's Children. Option D, The Pilgrim's Progress. The correct answer is option D, The Pilgrim's Progress. The Pilgrim's Progress fits because it is John Bunyan's work, a religious allegory that turns Christian life into a symbolic journey. Midnight's Children is associated with Salman Rushdie. The Importance of Being Earnest is associated with Oscar Wilde. Hamlet belongs with William Shakespeare, not this author clue. Question 73. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, during passage analysis, which term matches the clue that a 14-line poem divides into an octave and sestet? Option A, villanelle. Option B, Shakespearean sonnet. Option C, ballad. Option D, Petrarchan sonnet. The correct answer is option D, Petrarchan sonnet. Petrarchan sonnet fits because the Petrarchan sonnet usually turns between an 8-line octave and a 6-line sestet. Shakespearean sonnet is wrong because Shakespearean sonnets use 3 quatrains and a closing couplet. Ballad and villanelle describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 74. Examining a CLEP-style clue, if a poem uses a rhymed pair of iambic pentameter lines often used in neoclassical poetry, which device is present? Option A, soliloquy. Option B, heroic couplet. Option C, couplet. Option D, frame narrative. The correct answer is option B, heroic couplet. Heroic couplet fits because it means a rhymed pair of iambic pentameter lines often used in neoclassical poetry. Couplet and frame narrative refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Soliloquy is also different. Blank verse is unrhymed. Spenserian stanza has 9 lines. Ballad meter is song-like and narrative. Question 75. Considering a CLEP-style clue, can you identify the technique when a question asks for the speaker's attitude toward a subject? Option A, tone. Option B, setting. Option C, mood. Option D, plot. The correct answer is option A, tone. Tone fits because tone names the speaker's or author's attitude, such as ironic, reverent, skeptical, or mournful. Mood is wrong because mood is the feeling created in the reader. Plot and setting describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 76. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, should Volpone be matched with which writer? Option A, Ben Jonson. Option B, Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Option C, Virginia Woolf. Option D, William Blake. The correct answer is option A, Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson fits because Volpone is a Jacobean satirical comedy exposing greed, deception, and moral corruption. Elizabeth Barrett Browning is linked to sonnets from the Portuguese. Virginia Woolf is linked to Mrs. Dalloway. William Blake points instead to songs of innocence and experience, so it does not match this clue. Question 77. Can you name the literary term for literature that idealizes rural life, shepherds, or the countryside? Option A, paradox. Option B, pastoral. Option C, dramatic monologue. Option D, dramatic irony. The correct answer is option B, pastoral. Pastoral fits because it means literature that idealizes rural life, shepherds, or the countryside. Dramatic monologue and paradox refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Dramatic irony is also different. Gothic stresses terror and mystery, realism emphasizes ordinary life, satire ridicules social faults. Question 78. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, which author is most closely associated with the Golden Notebook? Option A, Virginia Woolf. Option B, Edmund Spenser. Option C, Doris Lessing. Option D, Christopher Marlowe. The correct answer is option C, Doris Lessing. Doris Lessing fits because The Golden Notebook is a post-war experimental novel linked with fragmentation, politics, identity, and women's experience. Virginia Woolf is linked to Mrs. Dalloway, Christopher Marlowe is linked to Dr. Faustus. Edmund Spenser points instead to the Fairy Queen, so it does not match this clue. Question 79. Tracing a CLEP-style clue, choose the work most closely linked with John Keats. Option A, Hamlet. Option B, The Rape of the Lock. Option C, Ulysses. Option D, Ode on a Grecian Urn. The correct answer is option D, Ode on a Grecian Urn. Ode on a Grecian Urn fits because it is John Keats's work, a romantic ode meditating on art, beauty, permanence, and human transience. Ulysses is associated with James Joyce, The Rape of the Lock is associated with Alexander Pope. Hamlet belongs with William Shakespeare, not this author clue. Question 80. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, when a passage shows a novel told through letters or documents, which term fits? Option A, Bildungsroman. Option B, epistolary novel. Option C, dramatic monologue. Option D, terza rima. The correct answer is option B, epistolary novel. Epistolary novel fits because it means a novel told through letters or documents. Dramatic monologue and terza rima refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Bildungsroman is also different. Frame narrative embeds stories inside a larger story. Dramatic monologue is a poem with one speaker. Satire mocks social faults. Question 81. During terminology review, which term matches the 6-line unit that often follows the octave in a Petrarchan sonnet? Option A, couplet. Option B, sonnet. Option C, sestet. Option D, Bildungsroman. The correct answer is option C, sestet. Sestet fits because it means the 6-line unit that often follows the octave in a Petrarchan sonnet. Bildungsroman and couplet refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Sonnet is also different, octave is 8 lines, couplet is 2 lines, refrain is repeated language. Question 82. Studying a CLEP-style clue, recognizing William Shakespeare should lead to which title? Option A, Midnight's Children. Option B, Othello. Option C, The Second Coming. Option D, North. The correct answer is option B, Othello. Othello fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a tragedy built around jealousy, manipulation, race, and trust. North is associated with Seamus Heaney. The Second Coming is associated with W.B. Yeats. Midnight's Children belongs with Salman Rushdie, not this author clue. Question 83. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, when Othello appears in a literature clue, which writer fits? Option A, John Keats. Option B, D.H. Lawrence. Option C, William Shakespeare. Option D, Robert Browning. The correct answer is option C, William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare fits because Othello is a tragedy built around jealousy, manipulation, race, and trust. Robert Browning is linked to My Last Duchess. D.H. Lawrence is linked to Sons and Lovers. John Keats points instead to Ode on a Grecian Urn, so it does not match this clue. Question 84. Examining a CLEP-style clue, should Hamlet be matched with which writer? Option A, William Shakespeare. Option B, W.B. Yeats. Option C, Andrew Marvell. Option D, Percy Bysshe Shelley. The correct answer is option A, William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare fits because Hamlet is a revenge tragedy centered on delay, conscience, performance, and corruption. Percy Bysshe Shelley is linked to Ode to the West Wind. Andrew Marvell is linked to His Coy Mistress. W.B. Yeats points instead to The Second Coming, so it does not match this clue. Question 85. Among these writers, who is linked to Robinson Crusoe? Option A, Robert Browning. Option B, Daniel Defoe. Option C, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Option D, William Shakespeare. The correct answer is option B, Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe fits because Robinson Crusoe is an early English novel using realism, survival narrative, and economic individualism. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Robert Browning is linked to My Last Duchess. Samuel Taylor Coleridge points instead to the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, so it does not match this clue. Question 86. Which author is most closely associated with the temple? Option A. D. H. Lawrence. Option B. George Herbert. Option C. William Shakespeare. Option D. Jane Austen. The correct answer is option B. George Herbert. George Herbert fits because the temple is a collection of devotional metaphysical poems shaped by faith, pattern, and spiritual conflict. Jane Austen is linked to Pride and Prejudice. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. D. H. Lawrence points instead to Sons and Lovers, so it does not match this clue. Question 87. Testing a CLEP-style clue. When Ulysses appears in a literature clue, which writer fits? Option A. Jonathan Swift. Option B. James Joyce. Option C. John Donne. Option D. Chinua Achebe. The correct answer is option B. James Joyce. James Joyce fits because Ulysses is a modernist novel associated with stream of consciousness, mythic parallels, and one-day structure. Jonathan Swift is linked to Gulliver's Travels. Chinua Achebe is linked to Things Fall Apart. John Donne points instead to Holy Sonnets, so it does not match this clue. Question 88. Comparing a CLEP-style clue among these works, which one is by Elizabeth Barrett Browning? Option A. The Temple. Option B. Sonnets from the Portuguese. Option C. Ulysses. Option D. Things Fall Apart. The correct answer is option B. Sonnets from the Portuguese. Sonnets from the Portuguese fits because it is Elizabeth Barrett Browning's work, a Victorian sonnet sequence exploring love, voice, and devotion. The Temple is associated with George Herbert. Things Fall Apart is associated with Chinua Achebe. Ulysses belongs with James Joyce, not this author clue. Question 89. Tracing a CLEP-style clue. Identify the device described as the continuation of a sentence beyond the end of a poetic line. Option A. Dramatic irony. Option B. Enjambment. Option C. Paradox. Option D. Terza rima. The correct answer is option B. Enjambment. Enjambment fits because it means the continuation of a sentence beyond the end of a poetic line. Paradox and dramatic irony refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Terza rima is also different. Caesura is a pause within a line, and stopping completes a sentence at line end. Allusion is a reference. Question 90. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue. When William Shakespeare appears in review, which title fits? Option A. Macbeth. Option B. Great Expectations. Option C. King Lear. Option D. Sonnets. The correct answer is option C. King Lear. King Lear fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a tragedy about authority, family betrayal, madness, and suffering. Great Expectations is associated with Charles Dickens. Sonnets is associated with William Shakespeare. Macbeth belongs with William Shakespeare, not this author clue. Question 91. Preparing a CLEP-style clue. Can Heathcliff and Catherine help identify which work? Option A. Othello. Option B. Songs of Innocence and Experience. Option C. My Last Duchess. Option D. Wuthering Heights. The correct answer is option D. Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff and Catherine are at the emotional center of Emily Bronte's Gothic novel. Pip belongs to Great Expectations, Dorothea belongs to Middlemarch, Belinda belongs to The Rape of the Lock. Question 92. Studying a CLEP-style clue, select a term for an implied comparison that does not use like or as. Option A. Bildungsroman. Option B. Foreshadowing. Option C. Metaphor. Option D. Sonnet. The correct answer is option C. Metaphor. Metaphor fits because it means an implied comparison that does not use like or as. Foreshadowing and sonnet refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Bildungsroman is also different. Simile uses like or as. Personification gives human traits to non-human things. Hyperbole exaggerates. Question 93. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue among these writers, who is linked to Waiting for Godot? Option A. Mary Shelley. Option B. Charlotte Bronte. Option C. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Option D. Samuel Beckett. The correct answer is option D. Samuel Beckett. Samuel Beckett fits because Waiting for Godot is an absurdist drama centered on waiting, repetition, uncertainty, and minimal action. Mary Shelley is linked to Frankenstein. Elizabeth Barrett Browning is linked to Sonnets from the Portuguese. Charlotte Bronte points instead to Jane Eyre, so it does not match this clue. Question 94. Examining a CLEP-style clue, which author is most closely associated with holy sonnets? Option A. T.S. Eliot. Option B. Lord Byron. Option C. Robert Browning. Option D. John Donne. The correct answer is option D. John Donne. John Donne fits because Holy Sonnets is a group of metaphysical poems using paradox, argument, and intense spiritual drama. T.S. Eliot is linked to The Waste Land. Robert Browning is linked to My Last Duchess. Lord Byron points instead to Don Juan, so it does not match this clue. Question 95. Considering a CLEP-style clue, recognizing Victor Frankenstein points to which work? Option A. Middlemarch. Option B. Don Juan. Option C. Frankenstein. Option D. Le Morte d'Arthur. The correct answer is option C. Frankenstein. Victor Frankenstein is the scientist who creates the creature in Mary Shelley's Gothic novel. Robinson Crusoe is a castaway, Faustus makes a demonic bargain, Winston Smith belongs to 1984. Question 96. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, which term describes a recurring image, phrase, idea, or situation that helps develop meaning? Option A. Metaphor. Option B. Tragedy. Option C. Motif. Option D. Alliteration. The correct answer is option C. Motif. Motif fits because it means a recurring image, phrase, idea, or situation that helps develop meaning. Metaphor and tragedy refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Alliteration is also different. Theme is the larger insight, plot is sequence of events, tone is the speaker's attitude. Question 97. If a passage context shows alliterative verse, heroic loyalty, oral tradition, and a warrior culture, which period is likely? Option A. Modernism. Option B. Middle English. Option C. Anglo-Saxon/Old English. Option D. Romantic. The correct answer is option C. Anglo-Saxon/Old English. Anglo-Saxon/Old English fits because it is commonly linked with alliterative verse, heroic loyalty, oral tradition, and a warrior culture. Middle English is different because Middle English is more closely tied to Chaucer, estates satire, and later medieval forms. Romantic and modernism point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 98. Comparing a CLEP-style clue among these works, which one is by George Orwell? Option A. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option B. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Option C. Sonnets. Option D. 1984. The correct answer is option D. 1984. 1984 fits because it is George Orwell's work, a dystopian political novel about surveillance, language control, and totalitarian power. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock is associated with T.S. Eliot. Sonnets is associated with William Shakespeare. Tess of the D'Urbervilles belongs with Thomas Hardy, not this author clue. Question 99. Tracing a CLEP-style clue. When a CLEP-style passage shows that characters named for virtues or vices act out a moral journey, which answer works? Option A. Allegory. Option B. Realism. Option C. Assonance. Option D. Soliloquy. The correct answer is option A. Allegory. Allegory fits because allegory gives narrative elements sustained symbolic meanings, often moral or religious. Realism is wrong because realism emphasizes ordinary believable life. Assonance and soliloquy describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 100. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue during work matching, which title belongs to William Shakespeare? Option A. Sonnets. Option B. Songs of Innocence and Experience. Option C. 1984. Option D. Beowulf. The correct answer is option A. Sonnets. Sonnets fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a sonnet sequence often tested for rhyme scheme, love, time, beauty, and mortality. Songs of Innocence and Experience is associated with William Blake. Beowulf is associated with anonymous Old English poet. 1984 belongs with George Orwell, not this author clue.